Morning, brethren. Our verse for our daily devotion this morning is Galatians chapter 6 and verse number 2. There the Apostle Paul says to the Christians to whom he's writing, "Bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ." Other translations have it, "Carry each other's burdens." One of the things that I love to do is to go away each year on the Go Relief teams. For over 13 years now, we've been taking teams out to different parts of Europe and even as far away as Africa, where we have engaged in very practical work, helping those in different places in the world that have particular needs. It can often be very heavy work. And one of the things that we often do is have to get bags of plaster or bags of cement in order to build or to plaster a wall. And those bags can be extremely heavy. Whenever you're carrying a bag from one place to another, it's brilliant whenever one of the other members of the team comes along and says, I'll give you a hand with that. And between the two of you carrying that bag of cement, the bag is much easier to bear than it is if you're carrying it on your own. That's the thought that's behind these words, that we are to bear one another's burdens. In other words, we're to try and come alongside each other whenever there's something that is particularly weighing one of us down. So you have a brother or sister in the Lord, and they're weighed down by certain circumstances in their life, certain things they're going through themselves, or perhaps someone in their family is going through, and it's just like a big heavy burden on their back, something that weighs them down. We're meant to come alongside and to help them, to bear that with them. That means it's important for us as Christians to share our burdens with one another. Sometimes as Christians, we tend to keep things to ourselves, and that's understandable. Perhaps we don't trust others with sharing information with them that is very personal and, in a sense, very private. Perhaps we are afraid that if we tell them what our deepest concerns are, that within 24 hours it'll be around the church. And so it's important for us within our churches to ensure that our fellow believers, if they do come to the point where they share something with us, that they can have the absolute confidence that we will not tell anyone else about it. And we are to go to others. Whenever a person is weighed down with troubles, with concerns, with anxieties, it's easy to spot it. It's easy to know that they are labouring under such a strain. And if we go and perhaps chat to them, one of the things that we should assure them of is that if they do want to share something with us, that we will not, under any circumstances, pass it on to anyone else. And if a dear brother or sister in the Lord shares with you some of their deepest concerns, something that has been weighing them down for maybe a while, then you are to bear that with them. How do you do that? You do it by going to them and praying with them. You do it by praying for them whenever you're on your own. You do it by helping in any practical way that you can. This is what it means to bear one another's burdens. What does it mean then at the end of the verse where it says, "And so you will fulfill the law of Christ"? Well, surely what Paul is referring to here is the fact that Christ wants us to love one another. This was one of his commands. Before he left his disciples, he says, "A new command I give to you, that you love one another." And how better to show our love than to bear one another's burdens? So folks, let us seek to put this into practice in our life as a congregation. Let us think of our fellow believers. Let us realise that some of them are struggling, that some of them are carrying very heavy burdens, and that it is a loving thing to be able to go and to share that burden and to help them carry it. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. May God help us to do so. Have a good day, folks.